Hey y'all, I'm Paula Deen, and today I'm making pies. Whether you're in the mood for something savory or something sweet, I've got the perfect pie to please any palate. First up, it's my chicken pot pie that's so rich and creamy that it could only be called the Lady and Sons. And then next is a sinfully wonderful white chocolate macadamia nut pie. And then finally, it's my mystery pecan pie with a perfectly Paula surprise inside. So I hope you brought your appetite, because it's time to fill up on a day of decadence. Michael, I gotta run the store. I'll be back in a little bit. Girls, guess what time it is? It's shopping time. One more trip to Kitchen Caboodle. Whenever I want a little something special to use in my kitchen, I'm sure to visit Kitchen Caboodle. It's a great place to go because you never know what you're going to find there. They have everything from helpful cooking gadgets to beautiful serving dishes to, well, who knows? Like this great little pie marker. It makes perforations on top of your pie for you to cut along, so you never have to worry about who's going to get the biggest piece. I'll have to add this to my shopping cart today. But what did I come here for again? Oh yeah, some pretty plates for my pies. And I wonder if they have something here to send a pie in. You know, I could browse all day in this store, but I better get back to the kitchen if we're going to get all those pies done in time. Thanks, Janice. You always have such a great selection. I know y'all probably think that I stay at Kitchen Caboodle, but I tell y'all what, I just do love that little store. And I wanted to go find some pretty plates for my pies because that's what today's show is about. It's all about pies. But look at that beautiful plate. And I got some other stuff down in here that I'm going to be talking to y'all in a little bit about. So in the meantime, I'm going to be making the Lady and Sons chicken pot pie. Once a week, I used to make old-timey chicken pot pie, and everybody loved it. But I wanted one that was delicious and also pretty. So I came up with this one, and I'm using some boneless chicken breast that I've cut into cubes. And we're gonna saute that in about 1/3 of a stick of butter. I'm gonna put this in the sink. I wanted to get rid of that bowl because I didn't want to forget that I'd had raw chicken in it. You want to be very, very careful and make sure you use clean utensils and wash your hands after handling poultry. All right, so I'm going to put a little salt in this, a little seasoning salt, and a little black pepper. And I'm going to come back over here and check our puff pastry. It's a great product, but we're going to take our sheet of puff pastry. All right, now I'm going to just slice through that just like that. This is such a wonderful product. So what we're going to do is lay out our dough, and we're going to lattice this. You want to make sure that your crust is going to fit the bowl that you're using. So I think about 4 lattices will work. Now I'm going to take every other strip and I'm going to come in here and lattice this. And it doesn't have to be perfect because I found that imperfections is really pretty and it gives it a little interest in the shape. All right, so we've got the top to our pie and you see how easy that was. Now I'm going to brush this so it'll have a pretty shiny top. At the restaurant, we just use 1 whole egg and we beat up the yolk and the white. And this will give it a pretty glazed look. It'll be nice and shiny and pretty and brown. Okay, so we're going to put this in the oven and bake this off. All right, so we're going to let that bake off for a few minutes. And now we're going to turn around and come back to our pot of chicken, which is looking good. So I'm going to go ahead and add some onion to that. Ooh, my gracious, that's strong. And garlic. All right, I'm going to sprinkle this with flour. Oh, I think about 2 tablespoons. That flour is going to help produce a nice, rich stock. All right, so now I'm going to take heavy cream. And you could use milk or half and half, but at the restaurant we use heavy cream. All right, and a little bit more. And you see I'm kind of slowly adding that. All right, so we're just gonna let that simmer. And I've got some sauteed carrots that still got a little crunch to it. And these are just frozen green peas. I wouldn't use a canned pea. Now we're gonna have some chicken flavor, but we're not gonna have quite as much as I would like. So I'm gonna help it along by using a chicken base, and you can actually buy this product at the grocery store now. It's in the soup section actually. Now you'll wanna be careful with this product though, because it contains a tremendous amount of salt. So you'll wanna be very careful that you don't put too much salt in your pot pie. And I'm gonna finish it off with just a little nutmeg. It's amazing what fresh nutmeg does for cream sauces. All right, now I'm gonna turn around here and check on our pie crust. And you see how there's so much butter in that puff pastry that it can't hardly stay on that pan. Look how pretty that looks. And I'm gonna see if this one's ready yet. Oh yeah, it's nice, it's perfect. Perfect. And I'm just gonna stack it up right there with the other one. Okay, this is ready. You see I've got it hot and bubbly. So you could make this the day before, the morning of, and put it in the refrigerator, and then just come back and heat it up. And it's just amazing that you can have this kind of meal in what, 15 to 20 minutes. Just amazing. And remember now, when you're making your pie, you want to make sure that you bake this off in an oven-proof dish. I'm going to bring this up here, and I want to clean it off just a little bit. And then we're just going to take our latticed puff pastry shell, and we're just going to sit it up on our pie. And we're going to do a little push down on it. I want that rich creamy sauce to kind of bubble up and adhere to that crust. I'm gonna throw these in the oven, and when we come back, I'm gonna share with you my cousin Johnny's white macadamia nut pie that's over the top. I so hope y'all are enjoying the show, and if you do, be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And we'll be right back after the break. All right, those pies are looking good, but I'm gonna give them just a couple of more minutes. In the meantime, we're gonna turn around here and we're gonna make one of my cousin Johnny's specialty pies. Now, Johnny owns a bakery called Gabriel's Bakery in Marietta, Georgia. And I asked Johnny, I said, you know, I want the favorite recipe of your husband's, because I really wanted this to be a man pleaser. So she said, this one's it, Paula. So we're going to start off by making a ganache. I've put some semi-sweet dark chocolate chips in the bowl, and I'm going to heat up some heavy cream. Now, I'm not going to bring this to a boil, but while that's heating up, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put my sugar, just a granulated sugar, and I'm going to add some softened cream cheese. I'm going to beat the cream cheese and the sugar together. In the meantime, our chips are in the bowl, and we're going to pour our hot cream over that, and we're just going to stir those just like that. And you see how quickly you have ganache. There's nothing to it. Just a fancy word for something very, very simple. All right, I'm just going to set that to the side now and let it cool, because we're fixing to get to the really good part of this pie. I think this pie might be a man catcher. You know what I mean, girls? All right, I'm going to add some heavy cream that hadn't been whipped. Just going to add it very, very slowly. This is a real rich pie. All right. Now I'm gonna fold in some heavy cream that's been whipped. We're just gonna fold that in by going to the bottom of the bowl with our spatula and coming up on the other side because we don't want it to break down on us. Okay, and then we're gonna fold in our macadamia nuts, and I've got some wonderful fresh orange zest. Oh, and it smells so good and strong. We're gonna just fold that in. And now we're gonna fold in the best part, and that's the melted white chocolate. Oh gosh, I could eat that just like that. All right, we're just gonna fold that in. Hey, Gertie girl, I can't believe you don't weigh 200 pounds. And I can't believe I don't weigh 3. All right, that looks out of this world. All right, so all we're gonna do now is put that in a prepared pie crust that's been baked off. Oops, and speaking of pies, I smell chicken pot pie. That's what you're smelling, isn't it, Gertie? Oh, look at these beautiful pies. I'm just gonna sprinkle it, just like I do at the restaurant, with a little fresh chopped parsley and a couple of spoons for eating. Oh, they look so good. All right, so we're gonna come back over here to our pie, and this has been baked off, and we're just gonna fill our pie crust with this delectable filling. Okay, this one's ready to go into the freezer. And I've got another one in here that's actually ready. Watch it, Rennie. It's all ready for the ganache. This is sinful looking. All right, now I'm gonna do this kind of slow and gentle. I'm putting this warm chocolate ganache over sugar and cream cheese and macadamia nuts and, oh my gracious. Now just when you think this pie's done, it ain't. I'm gonna put some whipping cream on it. But before I do that, I'm actually gonna taste these pies, these chicken pot pies. I think they've cooled enough for me to taste them. And they look just too good. And this is the way I like to eat mine. I like to break off that little edge and get in there and chase it. I can see why it's a favorite at the restaurant. I just love it. Just when y'all think it couldn't get any better, y'all come right back because I'm gonna finish up this pie and then I'm gonna make a mystery pecan pie that's unforgettable. I hope y'all are enjoying the show, and I want to hear from you. Tell me what recipes or videos you'd like to see me make by just leaving a short comment below. Now, let's get back to the show, y'all. Okay, I've got some whipped cream in the pastry bag, and I'm gonna just pipe some whipped cream onto our pie. I actually let that ganache kind of chill. All right, now I'm gonna just sprinkle it with a few extra nuts. And I'm gonna pop this back in the freezer, so to my sorrow, I don't get to taste it right now. But I'm gonna get to it in the next 10 minutes. Oh, it looks delicious. All right, pecan pies. I know you've probably all had a pecan pie, but I've got a new pecan pie recipe for y'all. And this was sent to me from a friend from New Orleans. All right, now I've got 3 eggs busted. I'm gonna add some sugar. And I'm gonna add some white corn syrup. Now, a lot of people use white corn syrup for their pecan pies. A lot of people use the dark corn syrup. To me, it doesn't too much make a difference as long as there's syrup in it. We're just gonna whisk this around. It doesn't have to be beat up too good. All right, and I'm gonna add the vanilla. All right. This is our syrup layer, and this is gonna be the surprise layer that's in this pecan pie. And we're gonna start with cream cheese, a little bit more sugar, a little salt to cut the sweetness, you know what I mean? A little more vanilla, and one more egg. And we're just going to incorporate that together. A pecan pie is great for a beginner. So if you want to surprise the family, pull this recipe out on them and see what happens. All right, now we're going to add our cream cheese to the bottom of the pie. Looks like melted white chocolate, doesn't it? Just going to kind of smear that around evenly. All right, here we go. Now I'm using a chopped pecan. You can use a whole one, but it makes it much, much easier to slice by the piece when your nuts are chopped up like this one. So you have to decide what you want. All right, now this is the standard filling right here for a pecan pie. Now all we're gonna do is take this and pour it on top of those nuts. And then when this pie is done, all the nuts will have risen to the top. Now if I can just get it to the oven without spilling it. And you can see that I'm gonna bake this in a raw pie shell because this pie is actually gonna bake for about 45 minutes. So you don't wanna pre-bake your shell or it would get too brown. I got it in there without spilling it, so we're gonna come over here and check on this one. Oh my gracious. Look how good that looks. I'm actually gonna put it over here on this corner because I got a great breeze coming in that door. So I'm gonna let that sit right there and cool. And now I'm fixing to go get that white chocolate macadamia nut pie out and sample it to make sure it's good enough for my family and friends. And I'm gonna see what we, look at it gooshing down. It almost looks like it's got a heartbeat. Johnny, I think you got you a winner, baby girl. Let's see now, I think a little bit more cream is in order. And a little bit more nuts. Let's see what we got here. Oh my gracious. I swear it'll make you sass your mama. Don't hang around because when we come back, I'm gonna give you some tips on shipping that pecan pie to somebody that you love. I so hope y'all are enjoying the show. And if you do, be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And we'll be right back after the break. Half the fun to me of making pies is sharing them with people that I love. And there's no better pie to share with folks than the pecan pie. It's one of the sturdiest of all the pies. Remember when I walked in at the opening of the show and I had a paper bag full of stuff? Well, this is one of the things that I had in there. So what I'm gonna do is just drop that pie down into the bottom half of that container, and I'm gonna take some parchment paper and I'm gonna seal this lid in there really, really good. And I'm gonna tape that down. That will help keep it secure in the bottom of that container. Perfect. All right, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna use what they call a peanut. And all I'm gonna do is tuck the pie down in here, and then I'm gonna put the peanuts back on top of it so it won't allow that pie to move around. And I even made some tags off of the computer to go on this. And you see that it reads best dishes from my kitchen to yours. So be sure and go to your computer and make your little labels. These work out great. I had a wonderful time with y'all today making all these recipes, and I hope y'all will try some of these recipes. I hope you love them. In fact, look at that mystery pecan pie. Have you ever seen a pecan pie with cream cheese in it? Neither have I. I know you're gonna love it. And as always, I send y'all love and best dishes from my kitchen to yours. Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.